it was like there was cooking, right?
Yeah.
And like we were watching we were watching someone with the like
Silas?
sauteing things and doing all sorts of fun stuff to like.
Don't do it, Kali. Don't do it. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Play Silas. Just play Rod of Ages Silas. Just go all the way back. Just go all the way back.
Well, Fate is thinking about. Oh,
Okay.
They listened to you, Wolf.
Oh, thank you, Fate.
You were projecting very, very well.
I was.
And look, Lowell Park does have a lot of sound absorption from the walls, but I think Wolf found an angle to bounce it right at Fate so that he could hear it went through the little gap in the headset, and Fate's like, I got you, brother.
I like to think that the fan behind me heard it and
Crazy.
Aftershock Vi.
That is actually
kind of like,
interesting.
yeah, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit less common.
We're not pressing the attack this time around, but it does kind of seem to me like Owner doesn't really want to play too aggressively in the lane, which makes me a bit sad, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's see how this matchup goes, because it can go both ways, and Croco can path top, because bot is going to be a wash, right? And also note that on the bottom lane right now, they leash for Owner, so and this is known.
I'm pretty sure that was Rascal pressing W and then not finding an auto attack, which is a bit sad. Oh, no, he didn't. He pressed, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm actually losing my mind.
Too much Sari Lulu.
Yeah, I was busy looking at the bottom lane and my brain malfunctioned. Please, excuse me. I will attempt to do better as Dr. and Barrel doing laning.
Yeah. And Barrel, he loves his level 2 all-ins with this Lulu. And you should hit it first here. Use that shield one more time. As yeah, this is not going very well right now in the LCK. It's kind of a, you know, it's very vulnerable to a lot of things. As look at Barrel trying to hit level 2. We know it's going to happen before it happens. How do we know?
Yeah.
It's like we've seen this before.
T1 are going to back away because level 2 comes in and they miss one creep. This lane is over, Wolf.
In terms of things to explain, yes.
Oh yeah,
we covered it.
We're gonna have to we're gonna dig deep on things to talk about, because the amount of times that we have analyzed these two compositions almost exactly is kind of absurd.
I mean, the only other thing to add is that this kind of happened where level 2 came out this way because Gumacaria helped Owner, and Duckdom and Barrel did not help Croco, and so they got down there first and got control the wave earlier. Yeah, now we've said everything.
Yeah, we have. We haven't mentioned the fact that Croco, if he plays towards his top side, is going to be able to get a lot of permafrost value, and Rascal getting ahead early will be able to create some good things here for DRX.
And, you know, this is obviously predicted by T1 that Croco's going to path topside here. Owner's going to get scouted. Like, these teams know so well what the other is trying to do, although this, unfortunately, does miss.
Oh, this is Owner lurking off to the side. We know that he is up here. And there he comes, as they don't actually aggro the turret. That's so important, as Rascal going to slice. And then look for Owner here. Spins around a little bit. Azeus is going to opt into this one. Flash has to be used quite early because Faker has the inside track. Bolt Breaker not going to quite find it here as Owner gets slowed down, but there's the flash to come forward, and Croco has to flash as well. Over goes Faker, though, as Croco is going to be taken out, but can Faker survive? The answer's no, as Rascal is going to pick up second blood. Owner now looking for...
Going over to T1 here, but I think I actually like this situation a lot here on the side of the Silas in this matchup, who does pick up an assist here. If he got the kill, would have actually been amazing, but unfortunately it goes over to Rascal. So a kill for Faker, an assist picked up for Fate. That's going to make his time a little bit easier getting to that Rod of Ages, because the Silas is the one that really wants to rush it out.
Yeah, true. However, he's now against First Blood Zia, which is a little bit sad. Doctom also struggling as the heal has to be used. Gumayushi trying to fight this one as Barrel slowed down. Carrier standing his ground as Croco comes in. Gumayushi just wanting to get a kill before he's taken out, as the flash going to be utilized. And Croco, does he have the Winter's Wrath? Extendo Beam comes forward. Permafrost trying to get this one done as Owner is going to turn up.
No way!
Gumayushi somehow survives!
6 health!
That is absurd. Look at his face. He's grinning.
Now, Faker does not have Flash here. So remember, this is where the Silas can turn this matchup around if he actually gets a really nice and diversified steal.
Yeah.
Like, this is what he's looking for right now. Yep. It's level 6.
They're going to come in as Croco's moving over yet again. Surely it's not going to go wrong this time, as Faker is close enough to his turret. So it does. But that one was definitely less robbed than the bottom side.
Okay, I thought he was closer to 6 when he was going aggressive like that, but it was because Croco was coming over, and he almost is able to potentially set up a pick there onto Faker, but does not. As, man, this game is very... Guma gets so incredibly low. Now, this Scryer's miss is really crucial because it means that Krako thinks this is a kill he could set up here. But luckily, as you mentioned, they see Vi before aggroing the turret, so they have a little bit of extra time to get out. And then obviously there's a long chase that ensues here, and it's really well played by Zeus. A flash is forced, and Zeus could chase really far, and Azir has Prio in mid, so Faker can come over here. Now he does flash to guarantee this kill. Fate does not have to flash. That's one of the things I was saying. I really like this for DRX in a lot of ways, but additional gold does go over here to the side of T1. And then down here on the bottom side, Krako comes, but look at how quickly they react to this, forcing them out so there's no follow-up damage. The flash comes through first for Guma, and then watch this from Keria. He's got 60 mana pretty much exactly. So ebbs and flows and has enough healing here just barely to get him out. Sighs of relief.
Yeah, I like Keria's one. His fans losing their minds, quite obviously, but that was very, very close to being good for DRX. And in the end, as the dust settles, you know, it's 400 gold, something like that, as far as the gap between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is DRX having a great start to this game in a lot of ways. Remember that their composition scales incredibly well with this Zeri. Not that T1's doesn't scale too, because they have an Azir. We bought an Oblivion Orb also with that early first Blood Gold, so Faker going to be able to annoy this Sylas and keep his healing down in the lane very early from the Kingslayer.
Rascal and Zeus as well have exactly the same items and exactly the same CS, which, well, actually, one more please, Zeus. One more, just one more. We'll need one more. Never mind, he's not going to pick it up. But it is very, very even up there, despite the fact that Rascal does manage to pick up a kill. As Fate is coming over, Krako also going to pay a visit as the Brambleback is going to be hijacked. Well, actually, Fate cannot hijack the Brambleback. That was a lie, but he might be able to hijack Owner's ultimate before he actually has the ability to use it, because he gets a control ward in there. Krako is going to be able to steal away the red. So, little advantages here picked up for DRX, but Owner not going to be too bothered by that. Keria moving in, Owner looking to clear out vision and grab this where he can. Bubble is going to connect, and oh, Beryl. We've seen this one before, and he is going to fall down. Krako moving on over, does have the Glacial Prison, but without the Lulu, not going to be able to fight this one 2v3.
Yeah, level 6 timing coming over here for Owner, but it doesn't even matter. If you hit that bubble, Beryl is dead. You have the Dirk, you know, early in this game as Guma, so you have that extra damage. The Lulu's just not going to be able to compete, didn't have flash. And so Owner wants to come over here and set up a level 6 timing, but he's completely unnecessary in this exchange, as Krako also knows the timing and comes over here, but isn't able to help out. Maybe you could catch Keria here, but seems unlikely. Yep. We'll back away.
Trying to catch them backing, but they aren't unable to do so. Keria moves away. Does have his back delayed just a little bit, but not going to be too worried about it. So just going to be a kill onto Beryl there as Rascal. Ooh, going to be denied the cannon with that wallop. Very nicely done there from Zeus.
Keria has Tidal Wave and is headed mid here. And Herald's up, so I mean, he could either potentially set up a pick here for Faker or just fight for Herald to make sure Owner guarantees it. This is actually a really nice time for him to go over here. Doesn't back at all. Back at Slade turns into actually a big power spike here for this early game for T1, and Keria just makes sure Faker is safe here in mid, and they can't come over and contest the Herald, so well played. So now both early objectives going over to T1. This is exactly what you want in this composition, as Owner's coming over here with this timing, but the Beryl is caught by this bubble. And he doesn't have flash. That's the end of that.
Yep, nowhere to go and no option. He has been caught in those with flash up and available. This time around, didn't actually even have that as a possibility. Now he does. So things a little bit more even, and as we can see, it's not like the CS is massive or anything like that, nor have there been any plates actually taken on any of these side lanes, actually. It's actually kind of rare that we see so little plate action at the beginning of this game, as Silas's icon is over his plate, but yeah, 0 plates have fallen by plates. 10 minutes. Crazy.
Bit of a late Herald pickup here, but it is grabbed by T1, so that is going to change very soon here in the mid lane. Faker does have his flash back up and available, and Fate's hijack is on cooldown, so we could see gank into Herald drop.
Owner, happy feeding, trying to work out where he wants to go. As Krako just comes out of the brush a little. That was very strange. So both junglers just wandering around a little bit.
Well, he was like, are you going to use your cooldowns? Because Faker's got Prio, and we will kill you. He doesn't want to go in on him first, but does force him out now.
Yeah. That was very odd. Anyway, T1 getting vision and double control wards around this second Drake, which is going to be the Hex Tech, and that's why they're investing so much, of course, is a beautiful dragon, as once again, Croco and Ono just playing footsies here around the river.
Croco can't really do anything here, though, unfortunately. He's trying to force his way in here. Wild Growth is ready, so there's a lot of CC to chain, but Ono went Aftershock, and the damage on this Lucian is so high at this point in the game compared to what you're going to be able to offer back as the Zeri. Feels bad here, try to fight for this Herald, or rather Drake, excuse me, as DRX. And look at Faker, he's just pushing plates. I mean, he's like, I'm just going to get money. If you guys are going to think about this a little bit longer, think about me picking up more money instead.
Yeah, and they are going to do that. Could it be first plate here on the bottom side of the map as well? As it's very, very close, but it's not quite able to get there.
Yeah, only Faker is securing it so far, but they're going to drop the Herald, so that'll change this equation. And Croco is trying his best to hover here and make sure that no dive is possible, but he doesn't have any agency otherwise here, unfortunately, especially with Guma having cleanse.
Yeah, and this is a 3v3, but Beryl doesn't have a lot of his health bar left. He does have Wild Growth, so if they try and go for a dive, it's dangerous. As Beryl caught once again in a bubble, the heal's not going to be enough. He dies with Wild Growth up in the CC from the bubble as Carrier is running this bottom lane.
Yeah, this is why, you know, Croco needs to be here, but also Beryl, you had flashback up. If you dodge that, it's a different scenario. You know, you could flash back there, and even if you get hit by the tidal wave afterwards, you're fine. You've got Wild Growth, and you should be able to help out, but fortunately does die here a second time, and T1 just running this map now. And Faker, you know, we talked about the early Oblivion Orb. Fate missed his opportunity with Flash Advantage to go for the all-in. He did have level 6. Croco came over. Now Faker runs this mid lane too.
Rascal looking to try and catch up in solo kills, as we can see, but Zeus just going to hop over the top of him. Lands the boomerang there as well, as Rascal wants to make use of his Dominus. Oh, it's not exactly the greatest of souls here, but we'll have some Mega Plants. Some Mega Flora, if you will.
Gale Force picked up for Guma on the bottom side of the map with that kill going over. No mandate yet for Carrier, but it's soon.
Yeah.
Cool, you are playing with fire, my man.
He is. He's wearing the, you know, the SKT skin, so you have to play with a bit of gusto. As now Croco will be able to go home after clearing up his jungle. Needs to head towards the southern side of that one.
I'd be lying to you guys if I told you that Croco wasn't exactly where he needed to be from start to finish so far in this game. Like, he absolutely has been. This bubble is beautiful. It's both.
Yeah.
And Beryl doesn't flash, he's dead. He was already low on health, as you mentioned, but he has been exactly where he needs to be this entire game while also maintaining an advantage in CS. But unfortunately, Sejuani into the Vi with these losing lanes, there's not much you can do even those moments. Like, the arguably most dangerous part was when he went topside, but Owner was also there. And when he went mid, when Fate had that hijack available, when Faker was flashless, but Faker was able to get away. So he just hasn't been able to do anything really this game. Just the single assist from that scuffle topside.
Yeah, and no plate to go down here for Fate in the mid lane, so none of that plate gold actually going to exist for DRX, and it does mean that close to a 3,000 gold lead for T1 as the dust settles, and it's not massive, right? But it's enough here for T1's composition, especially moving towards this mid game, as Arctic Assault and Vault Breaker are just surprisingly similar abilities, and Ono not going to land with his version of it.
Nope.
As a couple of different fights here. It's Glacial Prison is going to be invested. In goes Fate. Can he get the flash? Emperor's Divides flying every which way. There was a tidal wave there as well. My goodness, buttons were pressed, guys.
Fate, a little bit slow though.
Yeah, Gumayushi getting chased down here by Doctom. Has a lot of movement speed, but the Glitter Lance not going to connect. And Zeus just having a good time in the jungle.
Yeah, he's like, can I have this red buff? This crocodile over here is very annoying, and I would like to burn him. And he will get it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was a very crazy exchange there with Croco looking for an opportunity, Fate having the Flash Emperor's Divide set up, but Faker's reaction is perfect. And he pushes him away, so Flash for no flash here. Faker maintains the advantage, and these small leads here in this lane have really started to compound upon themselves as it's a 14-minute rod, so one of the leader ones you'd have for Silas, which really hurts his ability to get that spike later on with Hijack, getting that additional health much later. Really hurts the mid-game here for DRX. And Faker takes out this turret early. He's got full control of the middle of the map.
Yeah, this is
not looking great.
He basically has taken this turret by himself as well. hasn't really needed too much assistance in that department. And that just means that T1 able to break this map wide open. Control vision, a lot of places so far being set up. As you can see, able to get vision down relatively deep now that that mid lane outer turret is done. So, Shirley, next option here for T1.
And to get the Sundisc turret set up in mid this early in the game is almost unheard of. Remember, he didn't get, as you mentioned, the Herald drop in mid. Still gets the whole turret, so he can set up that extra prio so early to start this Herald ASAP, and that's exactly what they're looking for here. Now he's ready in position with Emperor's Divide and Flash.
Yep. And Mega Cone able to get him in there as Rascal moving real fast. Tidal Wave going to get the knock up as Croco is going to lose out on the Herald Smite. They can potentially defend the Eye.
Yeah, I think that T1 are just going to let it go. Zeus has a great amount of push going on bottom side. T1 just out-macroing DRX here.
Now the bubble is going to connect as Ono was thinking about going in. Faker with some Sand Soldiers in the area as well. Docdom disconnected from the team right now as the Eye is going to disappear. But now Cease and Desist is going to come through. Beryl is going to be Ona's target, but the Glacial Prison will come in. He's pretty far ahead, but Faker swoops down and will lock up Beryl. And Mega Cone's going to be used to get Croco over to the side, but now Fate is doing battle with 4 people, and he'll just be taken down. Now Docdom has to fight by himself against Faker. He flashes to get himself over the wall. He may survive. The last tick of Ignite is not enough, but a disjointed fight for DRX, and T1, they will be able to come out victorious.
Super decisive fight for T1, and I mean, Zeus has got so much control over this lane right now. Rascal almost solo killed here.
Doesn't manage to get over that wall as he has to flash, and there is the Dominus that has to come out, and there's the last Hyper Proc and the solo kill. So they get his flash, they get his ult, and then Zeus just picks up the kill. So he's not going to overtake him in solo kills. Wolf, I don't think so.
This tidal wave used here to secure the Smite is why they don't feel comfortable to actually force the fight here and secure the Eye itself, because they don't have that critical ultimate. As you see, Drake is being taken alive. Soul Point, by the way. And this chase here, as the disjointed Renekton has to go to defend, is the numbers advantage goes to T1. Docdom isn't here, he's forced out in mid. And they actually know with this Vial, there's a Blast Plant here, and he's so close to actually sending Beryl to his team. I think that was the initial idea with this play from Owner, and then they still get the Emperor's Divide because Faker is just fast to collapse, and then with the Vi ultimate stolen, Fate wants to escape here, realizes it's futile. And with Docdom and Croco just not being all, I mean, Docdom has no money, he has no items here. Croco's so desperately trying to set him up to get a kill after all that damage was done for Fate, but it's just too disjointed. And this is just, I mean, self-explanatory. Hyperprocs coming through galore. Rascal doesn't have his dash over the wall until way too late, slicing and dicing with the help of the Gromp. Helps him get away, but he still goes down.
Yep, just mini-nod to death. And DRX now find themselves so far behind. It is 6,500 gold. And T1 have just found little advantage after little advantage, and it's just compiled. And DRX they've made those couple of mistakes that we've seen from them a few times, a few extra times, right? 0-3-0 here for Beryl, sort of standing out like a bit of a sore thumb here. And Croco, while his positioning has been okay, he's never really been able to actually do anything with it, right? And T1 have just been the ones to be the beneficiaries of every one of these situations. And pardon me.
Oh, you're all right. You're all good.
Frog in my throat just a little bit there, but yeah, it's just a bit sad here for DRX.
If you need water, here you go.
No, I've got my own water here. I think something got stuck.
Yeah, this happens to me all the time as people who watch the LCK know. So, like, I just had the water just in case, but it looks like you do have some. And anyway, the game state here is really rough. And Beryl, you know, to talk about, you know, it feels like a really... Okay, hold on. Rascal.
All right, Cease and Desist going to come through here as Rascal slice and dice and gets the wild growth as Beryl avoids the wave this time around. Good polymorph, but Beryl is, yeah, not a lot of options, and the Crocodile's still dead. Double kill for Gumayushi. 3-0-3 now for him as Zeus is taking down inner turrets in the bottom lane, and T1, it's starting to feel like one of those games where it feels like T1 has 10 players and their opponent has 5, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an 8,000, nearly 9,000 gold lead here.
Yeah.
And they can start Baron on spawn as they do. This is the T1 way.
It is.
If T1 isn't doing Baron right at 20 minutes, that's when you know, like, it's not the game they're looking for. Because this is just what they do. They get these huge leads, they take Baron, they end the game with it.
Yep, that is going to be a Glacial Prison to avoid. Oh, okay, he gets into the pit. Can't steal it. But he
Nice
got
try.
into the pit.
Nice try.
It's basically 50-50. Nice work, DRX. Croco goes for the hero play, but it does not work out. T1 now with the Baron should be just moseying on towards the enemy Nexus.
You
Take it
mentioned
down.
Beryl, you know, he's had a bit of a rough season, right? And this is him dying here because the tidal wave placement is so good while he tries to Wild Growth Rascal to keep him alive, and he's stuck, right? He can't get out of here. He has no flash, but the thing I wanted to say about Beryl, as we all know what happens here, is that I feel like he's a player who comes off of winning another world championship, right? And he's trying to push his play further forward, but he hasn't built the synergy up with Duckdom yet, and he's now playing against the best support in the world, who he just defeated in a world finals.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he doesn't have that synergy with Duckdom, you know, that he built so much with Deft over the last year. And Guma and Keria, that duo hasn't changed, and it's likely not to change for a long time. And you know, he tried to play some aggressive moves in the lane, had to flash early, and then was still trying to be aggressive. And it feels like you're chasing a legend, right? As Beryl here, you're like, I am the world champion, but this guy is more famous than me. He's got more praise than me. He's the first support player to ever pick up MVP. And it's like you're fighting, trying to defend your own legacy in this series in a lot of ways. He's 0-4-0 now, and it's been a rough season. You know, it's tough to follow up being the world champion with a completely new roster.
It is, and we've been trying to commentate this game like it's, you know, a game that is possible for DRX to win. It's 1 kill away from a perfect game here for T1. Like, there have not been a lot of mistakes made. Yes, it is an extraordinarily boring draft on both sides of this one. But if you want to play straight up League of Legends, like, T1 is not the team that you handshake on that one. As Croco going in for a last-ditch effort with the ultimate. But I don't think they're going to be able to deter T1 here. And I think you need to try something a little bit crazy. Like, handshaking, I don't think is ever going to be the way.
I mean, the Lucian came through, and they could have done so many different things. They could have played the Aphelios lane, right? It's Duckdom. It's Duckdom, bro. Like, he could have played Aphelios.
Oh my God!
But like, they decided to play Zerg, and it didn't work. And here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. It is a 13,000 gold lead now, as was pointed out, and Roseus is 3 levels above Rascal. The Rod of Ages is now complete, but it is very late, right, for a Sylas. You know, you normally want to try to finish that one ASAP. That's why you go first strike, magical footwear, etc. He's not going to have the spike. Like, he has it now, but it's like, it's not a spike anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. The game is done. So everything went wrong. Faker got a small advantage, pushed it to huge advantages. Croco, I feel like, did not really have a bad game here, but he was outplayed by Owner. Owner was also matching in every single exchange where he was trying to make something happen. Owner was there, he was there faster, they had prio lanes. What are you going to do?
Yeah, Rascal is also behind 50 CS now as he was up a kill, as Fate comes in with a Gnar ultimate. Does go golden in the end with his newly built Zhonya's. Flash does come through as Empress Divide over the wall inside the enemy base as Faker just mops the floor with him. I think Faker's got something to do later tonight because he wants this game over, and I think he's going to get his wish. Generally, when the Demon King asks, everybody else is going to respond with yes, sir, and they are going to take down these Nexus turrets. T1, 24 minutes making short work of DRX in this one.
Yep, they beat this game faster than my old computer booted up, Atlas.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think, in fact, if we had started some of our old computers, it may have like just loaded into Windows as this Nexus is going down.
Yep.
T1 really, like, this was a masterclass in how to play fundamentals perfectly.
Yeah.
Here for T1. They answered everything that DRX were trying to do. They also just crushed all of the lanes. And yes, there was 1 kill